Hey guys, Jack here from Ginger Bets, and this week we're previewing the Houston Open, and in this video it's the long form, more detailed Houston Open preview. We're going to cover the course itself, the key skill sets required this week to lift that trophy come Sunday evening, and my best 4 outright selections for this week's event. So stay tuned, that's what's coming your way. But before I get into this week's video, a bit of housekeeping if I may. If you're new to receiving this information via YouTube, via Facebook, then do take a look at the sportspub.com website. On that website, by registering your email address, you can get access to short form videos of my best outright picks, best outsiders, and top 20 picks each and every week. In addition to this long form video where I give you a preview of the course, the key skill sets required, and my best 4 outright selections, there is so much information in this video that it can help you with your own selections if you don't wish to follow the Gingerbet selections blindly. And then weekend action, I've got your 2-ball needs covered both Saturday and Sunday. In summary, your golf betting needs covered week in, week out on the PGA Tour from Thursday through Sunday. So don't look elsewhere. Get yourself to sportspub.com right now. Register. It's all free of charge. So take advantage while you can. But in this video, I promise you a full detailed preview of the Houston Open. Let's get straight into the action. So this week sees us play at a par 70 course, 7,400 yards. So fairly lengthy for a par 70. It's an interesting setup this week. 5 par 3s and 3 par 5s. So this isn't standard for a par 70, but let me share this with you. 3 of the par 3s are over 175 yards long, some of them over 200 yards long. So you're going to have to be dialed in with your long irons if you want to compete this week. It's a true test of golf this week, and if the wind gets up, I expect to see a winning score of around 11, 12, 13 under par. In calmer conditions, I expect this to be around 15, 16 under par. So, what will be the key skill sets required this week at the Houston Open? Well, let's take it from the tee box. First up, I believe on a big boy golf course that driving distance is going to be of key importance, and that's the first critical factor that I want us to look at. In addition to that, I want to look at strokes gained, tee to green performance over the last 36 rounds. Let me tell you quickly why. I don't believe that on a low scoring, tough demanding test that you're going to be able to turn up and find your tee to green game. So I want players that have shown consistency over the last 24, 36 rounds. Next up, we're looking at proximity to the hole from 175 yards plus. There's loads of reasons for this. We've got par 3s that sit in this distance, but in addition, we have got a high majority of approach shots that are going to come from that range. Then I want to look at par 3 and par 5 efficiency. So they're going to be the 2 final points, par 3 and par 5 efficiency. Why? Well, the par 5s are going to dictate whether you're going to win this golf tournament this week. You're going to have to make birdie or better on those par 5s if you're going to compete. So I really want to look at players that have shown a real good tendency to perform well over recent times on par 5 scoring. And then with there being 5 par 3s, it's obvious that we should look at par 3 scoring. So this all ties in nicely. They're the 5 key skill sets: driving distance, strokes gained tee to green, proximity to the hole from 175 yards and greater, and then par 3 and par 5 efficiency. So now we get on to the bit that you all really tune in for, my best outright selections for this week's event. Well, those of you that have been lucky enough to tune in already, you'll have had the headline selection, the best outright pick of the week. So let me get straight to that and get that one on the screens right now. The player that I want to put forward for the best outright pick this week will be an Englishman, Tyrrell Hatton. 28 to 1 with many of the firms. He'll be the headline selection of the week. Let me quickly tell you why. In strokes gained tee to green performance, he sits 13th over the past 36 rounds on tour. In par 3 and par 5 scoring, he sits in the top 10 over the last 36 rounds on tour. He can be extremely good with his long irons. He's third in proximity from 175 yards or greater. So there's plenty to like about his skill sets this week. I feel that he's overlooked by the US books. I expected him to be 22, 25 to 1. If he hadn't faded away at last week's event where he shot an awful back nine, having been 13, 14 under par with 6 holes to go, he'd have finished in the top 15 and he would have been much shorter. But I'm happy to make him my headline selection at 28 to 1. Next up, this is a player that would have been around 28 to 1 only a few weeks back, but he is now available at 75 to 1. Yep, 75 to 1. It's an incredible price with Bet365, and that is Mito Pereira. Let me tell you why that Mito is the second selection of the week for me. He's first in greening regulations gained over the last 36 rounds on tour. He's seventh in tee to green performance over the past 36 rounds on tour. He's in the top 20 in par 3 and par 5 scoring. His price will simply not be 75 to 1 come Thursday. So take advantage right now. Guys, if you're looking for the best odds comparison site, by the way, take a look at oddschoice.com. It's got all your sports for you American fans, NFL, NHL, NBA. It's got the lot covered in addition to the golf. So do take a look at oddschoice.com if you're looking for your best odds comparison site in the USA. Third pick then, won't keep you any longer. This is a player that finished tied 5th last week. He was popular with many. I think he can go 4 places better this week and get the victory. He's available at 30 to 1 with Bet365. He's in the top 10 in proximity to the hole from 200 yards plus. So this is really important for long iron approach shots that he's going to face on the long par 4s and on the long par 3s that he will face this week. He's also in the top 20 in overall par 3 scoring. Well, there's 5 of those this week, so that's going to be a real important factor. I just believe that he's long off the tee. He can shape the ball both ways. He's got a low ball fight if the wind does get up. His stats are good on the par 3s. His long distance game and iron game is impeccable. There is loads to like about Joaquin Niemann. 30 to 1, Bet365, take advantage. And last but not least is a player that was the headline selection last week. But Scotty Scheffler, even though at only 18 to 1 with Bet365, with BetMGM, he's going to round out the portfolio for the week. He's just in such good form. I think a win is imminent for Scotty. He could have got over the line last week. He shot only 1 under par on the 3rd round, where other players, Victor Hovland, for example, the winner, shot 7 or 8 under par, maybe even 9 under. It was ridiculous. I think, yeah, and Justin Thomas, he was another 7 under shooter on day 3. Our guy, unfortunately, 1 under. That was the difference between him winning and losing that golf tournament last week. But he's striking the ball so well. He can move it both ways. He can play in the wind. And I feel that a win is imminent. He's a short price, 18 to 1, but he was only 28 to 1 last week, and this is a weaker field in my opinion. I think he's got a massive chance on a big boy golf course. I think it'll play to his strengths more than last week. I just can't leave him out of my portfolio. So he will be the 4th and final selection. So to round it up for you, we've got Tyrrell Hatton, the headline selection at 30 to 1. We've got Mito Pereira at 75 to 1. He's the 2nd selection. We got Joaquin Niemann, 3rd selection of the week, 30 to 1, Bet365. And to round out the portfolio, the shortest of them all, but certainly not the most sort of the least confident of the 4, Scotty Scheffler. I believe he's got an outstanding chance as well. I can't split them this week. I think they've all got amazing chances. Good luck with your wagers. Take a look at the sportspub.com website for all your golf betting needs from Thursday through Sunday, week in, week out. Don't forget to tune in. And by the way, before I go, on the site, you can find out how to get access to a $1,000 risk-free bet if you're yet to register your BetMGM account. So do take a look at that. More information on the sportspub.com website. Thanks for listening. Good luck with your wagers, and I'll be back next week.